Hello everyone, what's good? In this video, I want to give a more detailed presentation of my study routine, which is basically just reviewing flashcards and then also watching YouTube and Netflix, and then creating a new flashcard whenever there's a word I don't know. So for flashcards, I use Anki, and to make flashcards, I use Migaku, so let's jump right into it. So here I have Anki opened. Anki is a flashcard app. I like it because I can see stats, and if I click on my Migaku Anki deck, here I can see how many cards I've learned. Each card in my deck represents about one Japanese word that I've learned. So as this number goes up, I have an objective measure of how much my Japanese has improved. And this is really helpful because sometimes I feel discouraged about my Japanese learning, but then I can just look at these stats and I know objectively that I've improved. So if we actually look at what a card looks like in this deck,
薄いパステルカラーのイエローとパステルブルーの組み合わせがめちゃめちゃ可愛くないこれ。
So on the front of the card, we just have the audio, and then on the back,
薄いパステルカラーのイエローとパステルブルーの組み合わせがめちゃめちゃ可愛くないこれ。
I have the audio play again on the back. I also have the sentence and the definition of unknown words. So the way it works for me is if I hear the audio on the front and I understood everything, I'll pass the card. If I hear it and there was something I didn't understand, but if I pass the card, I'll see it within the next 2 months, then I'll pass the card anyways. But if when I hear the audio, there's something I didn't understand, and if I pass the card, I won't see the card again for 2 months or later, then I'll fail the card. The reason I do this is because if I always fail the card if I don't understand something in the beginning, too many reviews stack up and I realized it was too excessive. I didn't need to hear the audio that many times to learn what was in it. In this case, I understood the audio, so I'll pass this, and then I won't see this card again for 10.4 months. Anki uses spaced repetition, so it shows you a card right before you're about to forget it. So if we look at the stats here, today I have 115 cards due. Tomorrow I have 155 cards due. But let's say I review a card for the first time today. If I get it right, I'll review it again tomorrow. And if I get it right again, I'll review it 3 days from tomorrow. And if I keep getting it right, it'll prolong the time that I have until I see the card again. So using Anki is really efficient because it only shows you the card right before you're about to forget it. And that way you're not doing too many reviews and you're not reviewing cards that you already know too many times. I also really like Anki because I can browse my Anki deck. So I can see all the cards that I've created. I can edit them too if I want to here. And this is also really great because my Anki deck becomes my personal dictionary. So if for some reason I want to look up a word, I can just type it here. And then Anki finds all the cards with that word, and I can see how the word is used in different sentences. So I can look here for different examples. And I can also preview the card and listen to the audio. So this is really helpful. I also want to mention that Anki cards are customizable. So if we look here, if we look at a card, we can see that a card is defined on the front and the back by markup language. So here I have my card set up so that the front has only the audio. And the reason I have it set up this way is because I realized that even if I knew a word, that didn't mean I'll be able to audibly recognize that word. So since I believe in a listening first approach to language learning, I decided to have just audio on the front. In the description box of this video, I'll include a link to a different video that I watched to understand how Anki works and how to set it up. So next I want to demonstrate how I do sentence mining and how I actually use Migaku to create those Anki cards. So here I have a Japanese YouTube video, and if I play the video, this is just a video, but if I click W, the Migaku subtitles appear, And these subtitles, Migaku just takes from the auto-generated subtitles by YouTube. So this is cool, but if I click here on the Migaku toolbar and then I click parse, Migaku actually parses the subtitles. So now if I hover over a word and click shift, there's a pop-up dictionary that gives me the definition of the word. So by default in Migaku, every word is marked as unknown, and every unknown word has a red underline under it. So here there's a red underline, which means that this word is unknown. I've previously marked these other words as known when I've encountered them in other videos, so that's why there's no red underline under those words. But for example, this word, I actually know this word, so I'm going to mark it as known. And the way I do that is by pressing 3 on my keyboard. In the rare case that there's a word that's marked as known and I just can't remember it for some reason, then I can actually hover over that word and click 1 on my keyboard, and that word will be marked as unknown again. So when Migaku creates a flashcard, it only gets the definition for words that are marked as unknown. So if I created a flashcard here, it would get me the definition of just this one unknown word. But let's say that this word is marked as known. Then if I created a flashcard, there would be no definitions in the flashcard. And that's actually useful sometimes, because sometimes I want to create a flashcard not because there's an unknown word, but just because the sentence is interesting or there's a grammar point in it that I think is interesting that I want to make sure I remember. So here there's a word that I don't know. And let's say I want to make a flashcard. All I have to do is press Q on my keyboard.
ひなちゃんの手のひらに暖かい春と寒い春が交互に来るようにマッサージしてるの。
And then after that, I can look here. Let me refresh this. And here is my new Anki card.
ひなちゃんの手のひらに暖かい春と寒い春が交互に来るようにマッサージしてる。
That's the front, and then this is the back.
暖かい春と寒い春が交互に来るようにマッサージしてる。
So with one click, I was able to create an Anki card with the sentence, with the definition of the unknown word, with the audio, and also a screenshot. Let's say that I wanted this line here, and also this line in the Anki card, since that's more like one complete sentence. If I click on G on my keyboard, all the subtitles appear on the right, and then if I click on this line, and then this line, and then create one card,
ひなちゃんの手のひらに暖かい春と寒い春が交互に来るようにマッサージしてるの。
and then I go to Anki. Let me refresh this. Here I have the card again, but it's both the lines this time. So my main study method is basically just watching YouTube and Netflix, and if there's a word I don't know, I just click one button and make an Anki flashcard out of it. So when I'm doing language exchange or learning Japanese at my school and there's a word I don't know, I'll write it down on my phone in my notes, and then later I'll open it up on my computer and I'll copy and paste it and go to this website, Youglish, and just copy and paste it here. And so this is pretty cool. So Youglish will actually bring up YouTube videos that have that word in the subtitles. So for example, this TED Talk has the word that I searched for. So all I have to do is click on the YouTube video. And then from here I can make a flashcard, and then I'm good. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Basically, my study routine is just doing flashcards and then watching Japanese content. I plan on making more videos about how I'm learning Japanese, about language exchange, about the different tools I'm using. So if you're interested, please subscribe. Thanks everyone.